Hello and welcome to part 2 of General Horror with Gin and Coffee.
I didn't even put this on my list, but because we're talking about that, let's talk about. I don't know. Did I watch it with you,
What?
or did I watch it with somebody else? That Nazi, horror movie.
Yeah, we watched it together and we didn't like it.
Yeah, and we both stopped it.
Yeah.
I want to watch the end of that now.
I looked up the ending.
What is it?
It's they escape, and then they go back to work together.
Did he die?
No, they all lived.
No, the bad guy.
Yeah, I think so.
Finally, after 50 years.
Yeah, I think he died, and then they.
What the fuck was the name of that movie? So that.
Don't go in the fucking attic or fucking basement.
Fucking is that actually?
Fucking was in the title.
Stay out of the fucking attic.
Yeah.
That's what it was called. That's so dumb.
Yeah. But my main question is, right? Like, the Nazi doctor,
Yeah.
like, was, like, one of the original, like, famous Nazi doctors like, from World War II.
Yeah.
But he looks like he's, like, in his 50s. And I don't think that's correct. I think he would be a lot older and correct.
No, they explained it. And they said that it was that all the stuff that he was doing, the experiments, literally he was known for I can't remember his name, but he was known for experimenting on humans.
Yes,
like,
he just
constantly.
harvested their essence and made himself younger.
Basically, that's what.
That just seems like an excuse to, like, it's getting to the point where there's not really people from World War II who are alive anymore.
Joseph Mengele. I know how to I know how to pronounce it, but I'm not pronouncing it now because it's written down and it looks dumb.
They should have just went with, like, the villain being a neo-Nazi, because I think that would be more relevant.
Well, that was the main character, was the neo-Nazi.
Yeah, like the reformed neo-Nazi who's
quote
trying
unquote,
to
reformed.
Yeah, but, like, I think it would have been cooler if it was, like, a neo-Nazi trying to, like, replicate World War II.
Yeah. That's what I thought it was gonna be, and then it was just like, I am this. I was just like,
I'm
what?
like, dude, you look like you're 52.
You couldn't even say, like, this was his, like, grandson or son or something.
Yeah, right. Like, it's getting to the point where people who are alive during World War II are just not alive anymore.
There's, I think, one person left. One veteran left.
I don't think there's one veteran.
No,
I don't think that's correct.
Of what was it? It was in a specific town or a specific part of the country. There is one person left of that battalion or
of
whatever.
The Nazis?
No, of American troops.
Oh.
That he was in a parade every year with his group, and he's the last one alive now of that part or that group.
Yeah, because, like, there's people still alive who are from, like, World War II, but I'm like, this guy must have been, like, in his 40s as a Nazi doctor in World War II. There's no way he'd still be alive at this point. There's just no way. Unless, like, they use the bullshit excuse of, like, oh, my experiments made me younger.
All my experiments with eyes and twins.
Yeah, made me younger. I'm younger now.
I'm younger now.
They should have just, like, I think a neo-Nazi would be more, like, culturally relevant. That they
No, it would have. It would have.
They
It
could
really
have
should have
played around with that, because, I mean, Nazi's a Nazi. It's gross. They're a villain, right? But, like,
except for in JoJo.
No.
Okay,
we're not having this conversation again.
What's what is on your list? Because I've been going through a lot of the stuff on my list, but what's on your list for horror?
My list is a lot shorter. I have Angel's Egg, Perfect Blue, Silent Hill, Twilight Zone, Jennifer's Body, 1922, and Horrorland, the PS2 game.
let's talk about 1922 first.
Okay, 1922 is a Netflix movie.
Okay, I haven't seen this.
It's a movie adaptation of Stephen King's 1922. I haven't read the book.
Mm-hmm.
But I watched it because the trailer looked really interesting. You go into it thinking it's gonna be like a supernatural horror.
Yeah.
And it is, right? But not in the way that you think. It is one of the most depressing movies I've ever watched.
Really?
Yes.
How
it is
so?
so depressing. Because most of the people, like, in it aren't, like, upstanding people. But they make bad decisions. But, like, you don't want things to get this bad for them.
Mm-hmm.
And it does. It just keeps getting worse and worse and worse.
Oh, God.
So it takes place in 1922. And it's on this rural farm with this husband, wife, and their, like, teenage son.
Okay.
And the husband and wife are getting a divorce. Right?
Okay.
And the problem is the wife wants to move out into the city, and she wants to take, her son with her. And obviously the husband doesn't want that. He wants his son with him.
Okay.
So there's, like, this sort of custody thing going on, and he doesn't want to lose his son, and his son doesn't want to leave either because he has a girlfriend here, right? The husband ends up manipulating his son into helping him kill his wife.
Okay.
So that he can keep his son with him. Which obviously, like, you shouldn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
That's not correct. What's going on?
I opened another beer. I haven't tried this one yet. I really like Leinenkugel.
Yeah, and it
But
smells weird.
this is the summer shandy, and it smells like lemon, like directly just lemon. Like I don't smell any alcohol or anything.
I smell the alcohol.
Do you?
Yeah, it's underlying.
I just smell lemon.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, you were saying.
I won't spoil everything because I really do think people should watch this movie. Really, really depressing movie.
Yeah.
But, like, I think people should see it once.
Okay. Yeah.
Basically what happens is he has to deal with the fallout of murdering his wife and having his son help him. Right? His son can't take the guilt.
Yeah.
Really. And ends up running off anyways, leaving him all alone. And basically things keep getting worse for the husband. He's struggling to hide her body. He can't take care of the farm. Bad things keep happening to him, like weather, money. He injures his hand. Horrible things keep happening. And you think it's hard to tell if it is a supernatural horror, like if his wife is doing this to him, or if it's just in his head. Like, you can't tell. But basically, it's just like this man who did a horrible thing because he wanted to keep his son with him, and then ends up losing basically everything anyways. Like,
Jesus.
You've got these characters that you're like, they did these bad things, but you don't really want things to end up that bad for them, and it just keeps getting worse. Oh my god, it's I don't remember being scared. It is unnerving at points.
Yeah.
Like, the supernatural elements, whether it's real or not, like, they're just done really well. Right? But after I finished watching it, I just felt really hollow.
Yeah.
Like, I've never felt that ruined by a movie, I think. Or maybe I have, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. Not like this movie did.
Yeah.
I think everyone should watch it at least once. I don't know why you would want to watch it twice. It's so depressing.
It sounds really interesting.
Yeah. I've never read the book, though. I heard the book is, like the wife is different.
Oh, yeah?
Like, she's more stereotypically, like, naggy wife in the book.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas in the movie, she's, like, they're both, it's obvious why they're divorcing. They don't really like each other anymore. But she's a lot more understandable.
Yeah.
Like, she's more human than she's portrayed in the book, I think. And this is just from what people have said about the book.
Yeah.
I haven't read the book. But in the book, she's just like stereotypically like bitchy nag,
Yeah.
which I don't really like.
I think Stephen King was really good at just focusing on very specific like flaws,
Yeah.
and a
So-
lot of the time he I don't think it's really his fault. It might just be his upbringing and stuff. He does not have a good outlook or like understanding of women
No,
at all.
there's this subreddit that I follow.
Oh no.
Where it's like men writing women subreddit, and Stephen King's on there a lot.
Yeah.
He's on there a lot.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like I don't hate Stephen King's story. I don't really like his writing style because he's too wordy.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
Yeah.
That's my personal preference. But like, yeah, when he tries to go into descriptions about women, it's not good. I don't think he's like sexist or anything. I just don't think he's good at it.
I don't think it's sexism or anything. I think it's just he doesn't understand.
He doesn't understand that you if you want to write women, just write them like people. Don't like
Wait. Women are people?
shut up.
Since when?
There's this thing where it's like these guys are like, oh, I don't know how to write women, you know? And it's like, well, you're approaching it from the wrong angle. You're like, oh, I have to write women how women are. And it's like, well, no, that's not correct because women aren't.
No, women are just people.
Women aren't a monolith, right?
Yeah.
Just write them like you would write your male characters, but they're just women. That's all you have to do.
That's really easy to do.
It
really is. And a lot of the time, like...
They go from this approach of, like, I have to write it, woman, this is woman,
This is woman.
Yeah. You know.
I understand woman. I have watched The Love Boat as a kid. Women are nothing but horny for random specific man.
Or they're bitches.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, like, the movie, I think, handles it a lot better.
Yeah.
It's a lot more, like, she's not, like, a bitchy nag. She's more like a human being. But she's also, like, not... She's probably just as unpleasant as he is.
Uh-huh.
And that's probably why they divorced. But, like, obviously she would want to stay with her son just as much as he would want to stay with his son.
Yeah.
And it's not like... I don't know the laws back in 1922 for divorces, because it's not like divorce was a mainstream thing.
No, divorce was almost, like, looked down upon, even in my parents' day and age.
Yeah.
It was, like, a very looked down upon thing, and you're like, if you were divorced, you were almost, like, shunned.
Yeah, and it was, like, such a, like, sometimes divorce is necessary, you know? And it's like, my great-grandma was excommunicated from her church after getting a divorce from her physically abusive husband. Like, they punished her for escaping a dangerous situation, you know? And it's just like, go fuck yourself.
What the fuck?
You know? But I don't know what, like, the custody laws back in 1922 were, because I don't think they really... I don't think they anticipated, really.
I would guess that they wouldn't anticipate it at all.
Yeah.
And it would eventually, or at that point already turned into, like, when my dad divorced, it was basically the mom gets the kids.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what. And bad.
Right, no, it should be, like, depending on how old the kid is, so they can choose. And also, like, it should be, like, what if one of the parents is abusive and it's the mom, you know? Right, but I don't know what the custody laws were for 1922, so maybe he genuinely thought he just had to kill his wife to get his son. Not the correct approach, obviously, and I'm sure he knows that by the end of the movie.
Hey, I think he did the right thing.
No. if you've seen this movie, you will... It's rough. It's a rough time.
Ride wife. Life good. Fight wife. Kill wife. It's sad. You haven't seen that, have you?
I have seen that.
Okay.
I have seen that, and I've also seen the parody of that.
Well,
with
I'm
Lady
glad that I did that, and you just blank stared me the whole time.
Yeah. Well, that's what you deserve.
I'm gonna go cry. I guess talking more Stephen King. Have you watched The Shining? I'm guessing you have.
I've watched The Shining. Yeah.
I watched half of The Shining. This is a really funny story. I loved the fuck out of The Shining.
Mm-hmm.
I never finished it because I watched half of it with my ex, which that was her favorite movie ever. And she didn't understand at the time, because I was at the very beginning of our relationship, that I am an asshole and I will talk through movies no matter what.
Yeah, you should have warned her.
I should have warned her.
Yeah. Did she break up with you on the spot?
No, shut the fuck up. I loved the fuck out of that movie. It was really good, and everything that was happening in it was really good. And she stopped the movie because she thought I hated it.
Yeah, you're bad at that.
I didn't hate it. I loved the fuck out of it. And she was just like, why are you saying these things?
Good. I'm glad she ruined your day.
No, she deserved to beat the shit out of me that day. I was being an asshole.
Yeah.
But I'm saying right now, it was a good movie.
Yeah, I like The Shining. It's not my favorite in terms of like horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's really good, like genuinely, but it's not a movie that I would sit down and watch all the time. You know.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, it's really long.
You know,
and it's really slow.
I guess you would help me figure out where in the movie I stopped, but it was right after there was a random moment of an old woman naked.
Yeah, that's right when Jack is, I think, really losing his mind.
Yeah, it seems like he was about to lose his mind at that point.
I can't remember if that's before or after his scene in the bar.
That was after.
Okay. Then, yeah, he was in full lost mind mode.
Yeah, I think I was comparing her to a witch constantly, of her looking ugly and naked.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh god, what is this?
Did you get to the bear giving a blowjob?
Whoa, what?
You didn't get to that?
What?
Oh yeah, there's like this guy in a business suit who's getting a blowjob from a furry guy dressed in a bear suit. And it happens really fast, and you might miss it if you look.
Furries hurt me.
No one knows why that was in the movie either. We've been discussing it for years and no one knows. Yeah. I mean, I like The Shining. I haven't seen Dr. Sleep yet. I heard it was really good.
I heard that it was really, really good. I think it was either at the very end of my relationship with that same girl, or right after. That Dr. Sleep came out, and she was like, I will not watch it no matter what. I'm like, why? And she goes, I do not want to ruin The Shining. The Shining is my favorite movie ever. I don't want to ruin it. I'm like, alright, fine, whatever.
Yeah, it's not my favorite of horror movies. Like, I like it, but I wouldn't sit down to like watch it. It's not my go-to for horror movies that I sit down and watch. My go-to for horror movies are usually like, I like to play a lot of the black and white classics.
Mm-hmm.
They're like comfort food for me because they're not scary, but they're very elegant.
Yeah.
And I like just having them in the background. A lot of the movies that when it comes to go-to, I just have them in the background for when I'm doing other stuff.
I think
I like to put subspecies in the back too.
Yeah, I was gonna say a subspecies. I think. What was that one? Was it subspecies? Oh, what is the one? The Jinn movie that you showed
Wishmaster.
Wishmaster. I would put that on in the background no matter what.
I love those movies so much. Oh my gosh, he's so hot.
Shut up, monster fucker.
He's
Shut up.
so fucking. Have you heard his voice? It's
No,
so
no.
deep.
No, I have never heard his voice.
His voice is so... I mean,
It's not even deep. It's just...
It's beautiful, and I love him.
I love
and
him,
I
though.
want to marry him,
No,
and
I
he's
love
got
him.
abs, and I don't care if he's got Medusa hair.
What is... Who is he? I remember looking his actor up before.
He's in the first 2 movies, but not the 3rd or 4th.
I've only watched the first 2 with you.
Okay. Yeah, the 3rd and 4th movies it's a different actor. But I like the 4th movie because it has monster action. Obviously. But it's not with the same guy, so a little unfortunate.
I was gonna say, when I was watching that movie, the whole time I was watching it, I don't know if I said it during the movie, I probably did. The whole time I was watching that, I kept thinking that he looked like Josh Brolin.
What?
He looks like Josh Brolin.
He does not.
I don't know if maybe it isn't Josh Brolin that I'm thinking of. No, it's not Josh Brolin. Oh God, who is it? John Noble.
I don't think I know who that is.
He looks like a young John Noble.
I don't know.
You're telling me that doesn't look like Wishmaster?
No.
I hate you.
I love those movies. I don't know how accurate they are to the actual like religious or mythological context of the actual Jinn. I don't think he's accurate at all.
A Jinn?
Yeah.
He's nowhere near.
Yeah. No. I think that if I remember correctly, I think the Jinn are like not necessarily. Because in the movies,
they're basically genies of today's,
well,
but
no,
a
I
lot
know,
more evil.
No, I know
Yeah.
that they're like the beginning of genies.
Yeah.
But in the movies, they're like blatantly evil, and I think in actual like stories, they're not. They're like fae.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like fae aren't necessarily evil, but they're also like above human, like etiquette. So it's really easy to just piss them off.
Yeah.
And then they do horrible things in return that isn't, like, at all equal to the crime. You know?
Yeah.
That's what I know very, like, little about the Jinn. Like, I don't know a lot. But from what I've gathered, they're sort of like the Fae in, like, they're above human etiquette, but they're also, like, very prone to overreacting. And then doing horrible, like, the punishments must fit the crime, except the crime is probably a lot less offensive than the punishment was. Is basically what happened. Fae are huge assholes, by the way. They're just like, I'm gonna teach you a lesson, but I don't have to follow what I preach.
Yeah.
You know?
One of the things...
It's like, who gave you the authority to teach me a lesson?
Yeah,
Fuck
yeah.
you.
I love it so much that that's basically what they are, is I will teach you a lesson that I will not agree with myself.
Yeah, right. And that's, from what I know of the Jinn, which isn't a lot, I think they're sort of similar to that. Mm-hmm. They're not blatantly evil like they are in like the Wishmaster series. They're not like demons or whatever.
Yeah. But
they're like sort of similar to that. But I still love the Wishmaster series. It doesn't have to be accurate to me to be entertaining.
I loved Wishmaster. The main scene that pops up in my head every time I think about...
Is it the glass scene with the CGI glass?
No, it's the it's the casino scene.
Oh yeah.
Where everybody's running around like a chicken with their head cut off because there's money popping out everywhere. Just
and then the Jinn is just like, maggots in your stomach now.
Yeah, maggots in your stomach. Some of the things that he did, like the Jinn are supposed to do, in what I know of mythology,
grant wishes, and the wishes are never what you want them to be.
Yeah, basically, but it's like the consequences of the wish. Mm-hmm. Way outweigh the wish itself.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is.
Yeah, and the thing is
and then he's just like, you wish to not sneeze for the rest of your life. Okay, here's mega cancer.
Right.
Like what?
Yeah.
Like what?
He's great, and he has so much fun, like, granting these wishes.
Oh yeah.
Right. And the thing is usually in media, it's like you have to say, "Oh, I wish," but for him,
No.
he's just like, "Oh, hey, what do you want? Do you want some coffee?
Yeah.
Here's a volcano of lava erupting next to you."
Basically.
And it's like,
Is that what you want?
yeah, and the person's like, "Yeah, I want some coffee," and he's like, "Here you go." Like they didn't even say, "I wish."
Yeah, here's an eruption of a volcano spewing out like boiling coffee.
Yes, and the person's like, "Oh, well, that's not what I wanted at
Oh,
all,"
well,
and I
that's
didn't
not-
even say, "I wish." This isn't fair. One of my favorites is, like, he talks to this. Well, he doesn't need to do this, right?
No.
He talks to this clerk, like, woman, right?
Yeah.
And he's like,
Which movie is this?
I think this might be the first one.
Okay.
And he talks to this woman because I think he
don't
has,
remember
if I remember correctly, he has to grant wishes to, like, gain his power back.
Yeah.
And then he has to grant the wish of the person who released him.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and it's usually a girl. It's always a girl, actually, because, you know, monster fucking. At least for the fourth one. The fourth one gives me a little bit of what I want.
Oh no.
But he's granting these wishes. Like, I don't even know if he has to. I think he just has to grant the wish of the person who released him, right? But he just does this for fun, I think.
Yeah.
So there's this clerk woman.
Well, he gets stronger, the more wishes he does. But the
right.
one that releases him fully
Yeah.
is the person that released him.
Right, but like I said, I don't think he even has to
No, I don't
grant
think
these
no,
other
he doesn't
people's
really.
wishes. There's this clerk woman, right? And he's like, "Hey, do you want, you know, it must suck getting old. No one wants to get old." And she's like, "Yeah, I mean, no one really does." And he's like, "Wouldn't it be nice to be beautiful forever?" And she's like, "Yeah, it'd be kind of nice. You're a mannequin now."
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that now. Yeah.
And she's like, "Yeah, it would be nice to be beautiful forever." And he's like, "Be careful what you wish for." And she didn't even wish.
No, she didn't. Oh, I'm remembering a lot more of this movie than I thought I did now, and I'm remembering the random fucking like, it was like a forced relationship in the first movie of the wait, was that Wishmaster or was that something else?
Forced relationship.
Between her and the random like jock guy. And then at the very end of the movie, after all the shit happened, yeah, no, it was Wishmaster. The very like he's like, "What? You don't want to play tennis with me, you whore?" That's basically what the beginning of the movie was. And then the end of the movie was that she wished that everything would go back to the way it was. And then it like goes back to right after the tennis thing. And then she like walks up to him and just starts making out with the fucking asshole jock guy. And I'm like, why?
'Cause we gotta have that obligatory het relationship
I hate
thrown in.
I hate
for
it.
no reason.
The one of the things that I really liked about the second one though was the
Goth girl.
the
The fact that the main character was a criminal.
no, the prison. The whole prison.
The whole prison.
The
like,
whole of the prison, but also just the
he didn't
the
even
big
have
guy.
to be in there.
No,
he just
he
chose
didn't have
to.
He just chose to. But he's just like, these guys are gonna have a lot of wishes. I'll grow my power. But it's basically just the main one that I loved the most was slowly and methodically getting the guy, the big guy from. He's in the Green Mile. He's in Sin City. I can't remember his name. He's the super big, strong guard guy.
I don't remember.
Oh, I can't remember his name. But he's really cool. He's the main character in the Green Mile.
I haven't seen Green Mile.
I'm so sorry. I love that movie. But yeah, and then he grants the wish of the super big guard guy.
Yeah.
And I love that. I love that whole scene. I don't even remember what the wish was for him.
Well, the thing is he didn't even have. He could have left the prison at any moment.
No, he could have.
He could, really but he chose to stay there because he thought it was fun.
No, he really
like
did.
He
made friends.
Yeah,
he made a friend.
He made a friend in prison, and it was sweet.
And then even after he like felt like he was no longer friends with him, he still kept him alive.
Yeah.
At the end,
I guess he liked him enough.
He liked him.
Yeah.
I love it. That's actually, I want more of that.
Yeah, that was really sweet.
I want more of those two.
The one guy loved him so much, he was just like, we're gonna be best friends forever.
I loved it so much.
And this guy's like this most dangerous, like if you say the wrong thing to him, he will destroy your life. Like, creature, right? Yeah. And the guy's like, wow, that's so crazy how you could just do this stuff. It's so weird how everyone seems to be really scared of you and bad things happen to them when they're near you. We should be friends.
It's really scary that all the things that people wish towards you are coming true and then killing them and then destroying their lives. I love you, best friend.
Yeah, but like the Jinn just goes along with it.
Yeah,
he's just like, yeah, we're friends, I guess.
He's slowly just like, aight, fam. Yeah, sure, bro.
And he could have left the prison at any moment, like he had a job to do.
No, he could have at any point been like, okay, I'm giving the girl way too much time to have thought of how to destroy me.
Yeah, because every time he makes a wish, she gets visions of the wish, so she would start to catch on.
No,
but he just like, keeps making stupid wishes in the prison.
You know what? I think it was actually a good thing because the character development of loving his friend really needed to be done.
Yeah, that was great. That was good stuff. And then, like, when they got out of prison and he like, they escaped together.
Yeah, and
right?
then
went to, like, the Russian mob bar, right? And he's, like, trying to run away from, like, the mob boss, right? Like, the mob boss is looking for him. And the Jinn protects him. He's like, yeah, he, like, kills the Russian mob boss for him.
It's so funny because he's just like... It's literally just, what do you wish for? 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 For the mob boss, just so he could get him to die, so he could protect his friend that is being an asshole towards him.
Yeah, right.
And then he leaves him alive because he likes him at least enough.
Yeah, but it's too bad because the friend like ends up betraying him, I think, by telling the girl what's going on, and it's like that ruined everything. You guys had a good thing going. You could have traveled the world together. He liked you. He trusted you, I think.
He trusted you, I think.
He probably did not, but he did like you enough to keep you alive. He didn't ask you for wishes.
He didn't.
Yeah.
No, I think he did at the beginning, and then he no longer did.
Or, if I remember correctly, he gave him wishes, but ones that weren't deadly.
That's right, because he asked him if he wanted the gate to be opened.
Yeah.
And then he didn't do anything bad for him. Mm-hmm. Like, he's just... That's literally how he escaped the prison, was just like, do you wish for the door to be open?
Yeah.
I want to go out with you. I want to go outside with you and show you all these things.
Yeah.
Okay. Holds his hand, starts skipping through the fields outside of the fucking... Oh my god.
The second one is definitely my favorite.
Yeah,
I think.
no, I love
Just
it.
in general.
I love it so much.
The only thing I had a problem with is, like, they thought, oh, you need a pure heart to defeat the Jinn, right? And the goth girl's only idea to do this is to not be goth anymore. And I'm like, that's
right. That's right. That's
and
literally.
It's like that, but it doesn't work. And he's like, "What do you think was going to happen? I'm not a Christian."
Being emo.
Yeah.
That's literally.
But like, what I remember we were watching it. I'm like, what a fucking downgrade. What a downgrade.
Come on. Like, actually, she was so hot throughout the whole movie, and then she's just like, I'm no longer a goth.
Yeah, she's like,
And
the
that's
only
the good
way.
thing.
She's like, the only way to defeat the Jinn is if I subscribe to what the Christian version of purity means. That means not being God.
Oh my god, you know what that means?
It doesn't work
You know
because
what-
he's
no,
a
no,
Jinn
no.
and not Christian.
You know what that means? That means this was basically just a Christian Christmas movie.
Shut up.
And as long as you got Christ with you, you can save Christmas. Is there something else you want to talk about?
I mean, I could talk about Wishmaster. I mean, that's one of the movies that's on my list of like monster fucking movies.
Can I take
Yeah, go for it.
this? Okay, yeah.
Movies of monster I would date. And
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
definitely one of them. Hands down. Especially when he was dressed in rags in the first movie, like that was peak hotness.
Oh my god. Shut up.
I actually have a whole list of monster movies of monsters that I would totally fuck. Wishmaster, Pumpkinhead, Subspecies, Shape of Water, any vampire movie.
Venom.
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
Yeah, we fuck Beetlejuice. What, you wouldn't?
Next question.
Wait. I got a whole list. Let me think. I got a whole list of monster movies that I don't know where it is, but I have the list.
Yeah.
I think it. I think I was going to do like the slasher movies, but I'm not like a slasher person, right? Like of the guys that are slashers.
Mm-hmm.
None of them are hot to me, I think. The closest to would be hot is like Freddy Krueger, but like I'm not attracted to child molesters.
Scream.
No, because those are just dudes.
No, they're not just dudes.
Yeah, they are.
No, it isn't. That's Shaggy.
I don't want to
used
fuck
one.
Shaggy.
He used 0.5 of his power to make that movie.
Well, it wasn't just Shaggy, it was the other guy too. It was two guys, and
He
they were
doesn't
just
exist.
dudes.
He doesn't exist.
I don't want to fuck either of them.
I love Shaggy. I love the. I don't remember his name. The guy that plays Shaggy. I love him. I'd do anything for him.
Maybe if they would stop making monsters so hot, I'd not be a monster fucker. But yeah, Venom is one of them. So excited for Venom too, by the way.
I am half a monster fucker, I guess
You're
I could
a
say.
wimpy monster fucker. You're like, oh well,
But look at
it's gotta be a hot lady who's happens to, she's got horns, so it counts.
No, where's my wife?
Weak ass,
I'll
weak
show you
ass,
my wife.
sad excuse for a monster fuck. You need to go full on like Mothman. Where's your Mothman love?
I'm trying to find. There's my wife right here.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, she still is just like a hot lady with like some stuff.
She's not just some stuff. She is a mimic. Look at my wife.
A mimic who stays as like a hot lady.
My wife.
Weak. Where's your hot wife lady who's like Melina? I would fuck Melina.
I'd fuck Melina.
You would? Yeah. Okay. All right. Then we can be in agreement about that.
But I will still go and see the fucking movie because she dies in the beginning.
Sorry that I only like Mortal Kombat when it's with Melina.
You're dumb.
I only like Melina. I'm only in it for Melina.
Ugh. I'm switching the subject because I don't want to do this anymore. Is there one on your list, or do you want me to pick out a random one?
Nah, it doesn't matter. Go for it.
Oh! Our favorite movie! Bird Box.
No, I didn't watch it.
You never watched it?
No, it didn't look interesting.
What? Why not?
It looks like a ripoff of The Quiet Place. And I heard it was really bad.
I actually love it. I love the fuck out of it. It's not the best movie. It really isn't.
Yeah.
But I like the whole psychological horror of it. Of like you can, or not psychological. What is it called? Like space. Super.
Sci-fi horror.
It's like sci-fi. No, like. I guess psychological horror is the best I could think of right now.
Like tense horror?
It's
suspenseful?
It's something that you like H.P. Lovecraft horror.
Cosmic horror.
Cosmic horror, that's what it is. It's literally something that they cannot comprehend. And when they see it, they go crazy and kill themselves.
Yeah.
Because they're either so terrified of it or whatever it is.
Uh-huh.
And the only people that can look at it and stay alive are the people that are mentally insane.
Yeah.
And keep going or whatever. I think is really cool. And one of my favorite moments in it is that they kill off MGK. I love it so much. Machine Gun Kelly.
Oh yeah.
He's in it for like 5 seconds and then he runs off with somebody else. I don't think they give him an actual on-screen death, but I like to imagine that he dies. And that makes me happy.
Why?
Because it's not a real death. If he were to really die, I'd feel bad, but I don't like him. I do and don't like him. I like the music that he's making now. I think he's an idiot. And the people that think that he won against Eminem are idiots. I really like some of his music, but I also think that he's kind of an idiot. But now he's also dating Megan Fox.
Oh shit. Yeah, he is. I see him with Megan Fox.
Which I'm like, why the hell is Megan Fox dating this idiot? But also, she's really cool.
Yeah.
And I'm like...
So maybe there's something about him that is cool. If she sees something in him.
Dude, I can't see it.
He looks kind of hot right there, though.
No, he's hot. He definitely is. I like some of his music. I think it's just like... I don't actually hate him or anything. I think it's just a thing of like... I don't care about his real life.
Yeah.
As much as I like all of my other musicians that I listen to, if I hear something about their real life, which I don't go out of my way to look up what they're doing in real life, it's like, oh cool, they're doing this.
Yeah.
Oh cool, they're doing this. If I hear about MGK going to a coffee shop and giving the coffee shop owner $1 million, this, I don't care.
Yeah.
I do not. He does not interest me as a person. He interests me as a musician, and I like his music.
Well, to be fair, I always try to stay out of celebrities' business as much as possible.
Yeah, same.
I always like roll my eyes or get kind of angry at like some of the really exploitative like article titles about celebrities like private lives, stuff that doesn't even. It's not like it hurts anyone or whatever. It's just like you're being invasive in their lives. And it's like, why do people need to know, what brand of sweatpants they have right now? Or, like, that they have cellulite. Like, that's literally none of my business. And also, fuck you for getting in their business.
I go with the...
I get really angry at, first of all, journalists that get into people's business that's not relevant to anything. And misleading titles that end up hurting the people that they're talking about.
Yeah.
I think if you're a journalist, you should have some integrity. Just like bare minimum integrity.
No,
and
they
if you
really
don't,
should.
go fuck yourself.
I can't remember who it is. There's a girl that as of this moment, I believe the paparazzi are going with her wishes. Mm-hmm. But if any pictures... she said publicly if any pictures of her kids go out, she would like their faces to be blurred. Mm-hmm. And as of this moment, the paparazzi have actually been pretty good about it.
Yeah.
As far as I know. It could have fucked up.
Well, I always... Like, you hear those stories of, like, celebrities getting punched. Or not celebrities, paparazzis getting punched by celebrities. And I'm like, oh, they probably deserve it. people are like, oh, how could so-and-so, like, just punch a person? And I'm like, fucking the paparazzis almost 99% of the time deserve it. They get in these people's faces. They get in their personal space. They borderline touch them. Fuck off.
One of my favorite things of that happening is, you know DaBaby? The rapper?
No.
Okay, there's a rapper named DaBaby.
I'm going to subscribe any of my judgment about that name.
He is he used to be called Baby Jesus.
I kind of like that better, honestly.
He was called Baby Jesus, but then he said in an interview that he thought that the mainstream audience would give him shit because of him looking like he's not a Christian or whatever, and just being an asshole towards Christians. Mm-hmm. And so he changed it.
See, I kind of like that better.
Shut up. And so he went to DaBaby, and then there was a part where he was like coming out of a venue or something and going to his car, and some lady like shoved her phone in his face, mm-hmm. and accidentally like hit him or something, and had it flash on and took a picture, and just got super in his face, and he didn't see who it was or anything because there's a flash in his face, and he just goes and punches the shit out of her. It was a random fan, but he just punches the shit out of her, and all I remember is Philip DeFranco talking about it for a second, and he goes, "Dude, you're 5'5". If you're swinging and you're swinging and their head is around your head, it's probably a woman. You should not swing at that."
Oh, why not? See, I don't agree with that. Go ahead, punch someone who's getting in your personal space. No,
literally everybody went, "Why did you punch a woman?" And then every real feminist, and then every like idiot man. So real feminists and then men are just like, "Shut the fuck up, let's beat the shit out of women."
Well, here's the thing. Any person who's like, "Oh, well, I'll never hit a girl," is sexist to me.
Yeah,
you know, like, fuck you.
No,
obviously, like, in like a domestic situation, you shouldn't hit someone.
Yeah, no, obviously, no.
But, like, if someone's coming at you and is in your personal space and is, like, touching you or assaulting you or whatever the fuck, fucking punch them. Punch the shit out of them. It doesn't matter who they are.
No, I was 100% on
unless
the side
maybe
of
it's
the
a kid.
Also,
maybe don't punch kids.
Also, DaBaby is the first rap. This is one of the things that people said when he got really famous. He's the first rapper to publicly get away with murder.
I don't think that's correct.
No, he is. He killed a man in a Walmart because the guy pulled up onto him and his baby mama, mm-hmm. and his kid with a gun, mm-hmm. and he pulled out his gun and killed him.
Well, then that's not murder. That's self-defense.
No, it's not. At all. But it was really funny that everybody screamed that when he got really famous. Is because that happened literally months before he got really big off of a bunch of songs.
Oh, okay. I don't think that's accurate, though. I don't think he was the first. I mean, I don't...
No, he didn't. No, the fucking Snoop Dogg and
well, did Snoop Dogg do that, or was that just like...
No, he like he probably paid people to kill people, but it's like known that he did that. But also, for legal reasons, he never did that.
Well, I wasn't there. I was not existing when it happened.
You're not 40 years old?
No, I didn't exist when it happened, so I don't know the details. So I couldn't. Okay. So I can't remember if it was like he did it or if it. I don't remember the circumstances.
I don't at all
because I wasn't there. I didn't exist. But I love Snoop Dogg.
I love Snoop Dogg. I love him so much.
He's great.
I remember the whole thing.
His episode of MTV Cribs, best episode.
I've never seen that.
Oh yeah, he's the only one who's not a cheap piece of rich person trash.
One of the things that I recognize an artist as a good person, which is literally, this shows that freaking Snoop Dogg is one of the best people in the world, is because he's really nice to Nardwuar. If you know who Nardwuar is. He's an interviewer. He does all of his interviews are recorded as if he's a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
And he acts like an idiot, and that just became his character. One of his first real big interviews was Snoop Dogg. And it became that Snoop Dogg was a regular interviewee like 7 or 8 times because he just loved Nardwuar. What Nardwuar does is he goes in, and he did a TED Talk about this, is that he goes in and he just goes, the biggest secret that I can tell you about being an interviewer and a journalist and all these things is you can ask people questions before the interview.
Yeah.
I have asked people's families about them. It's not intrusive because I'm not going after them and being an asshole about it.
Yeah.
I just go, hey, would it be okay if I ask you about these things?
Yeah.
And he literally just gets super detailed information about them before he gets an interview with them. And so he goes, oh, hello, random celebrity. I heard that you really liked Oreos in the 3rd grade in this teacher's name's class. And then they're like, what? How the fuck do you know that? And then he'll say like a random food place or something that was in their hometown that they've never talked about before. They're just like, random food place, and that was, I guess, their hangout spot with a bunch of their friends as a kid. And he goes, random food place name, and they go, whoa, yeah, no, I went there all the time with my buddies, this and this. How the fuck do you know that? And my favorite there's like compilations of people just going, how the fuck do you know that? and literally it's like, every time he goes to a lot of concerts and stuff, and there's actually J. Cole is really wants to be interviewed by him and stuff.
I like J. Cole.
But he goes up to he sees fucking Snoop Dogg, and every single time Snoop Dogg sees Nardwuar, he's just like, oh, Nardwuar, let's do an interview. Yes, please come here. Oh, I love you, bro. And it's really funny. There's a couple interviews where it's literally just Snoop Dogg in public before marijuana was legal, just smoking a fucking gigantic blunt in public. Talking to Nardwuar.
Who's gonna stop Snoop Dogg?
Who's gonna stop Snoop Dogg?
Yeah, who's gonna go up to Snoop Dogg and tell him no?
Yeah, no. Talking about that, there's a fucking picture of like 3 or 4 cops that pulled over. I think it was 2 Chainz or Waka Flocka. One of the two of them. They pulled him over and had to bring him into the station because he had fucking a ton of weed on him. And they took a picture with him as if they were like fans of him. And Waka Flocka was just like,
God.
in basically right outside his jail cell he was about to stay in for a night. Just
Good Lord. Good Lord.
I don't know how the fuck we got to this conversation. I don't remember what we were talking about. Horror movie.
Yeah, that's right. Oh my gosh. Ooh. Sweeny Todd.
Sweeny Todd?
Yeah.
I knew you were gonna want to talk about it.
I freaking love Sweeny Todd. It's one of my favorite musicals.
Yeah.
Like, of all time.
You showed me the original, like, Was it like 8-hour version or something like that?
No,
And not 8 hours.
I have one of the first not one of the first performances, but I have one of the early like 1980 80s performances with Angela Lansbury and Len Cariou. And I have that because I think there are things that I really like in the original musical that just don't end up in the Burton version.
Yeah.
For example, my favorite song in both versions is A Little Priest. But I like A Little Priest a lot more in the original because it's just cannibal puns.
Yeah.
But in the Burton version, it's like significantly cut down, and it's a little disappointing. The Tim Burton version takes a lot of the dry humor, the dark humor that's present in the original, and that makes me a little sad. Because Sweeny Todd's a really dreary, dour, tragic, sad story, right? It was gonna be that regardless, but the original musical has like this underline of like really dark humor that I really like, that just doesn't carry over to the Tim Burton theatrical version. I still like the Tim Burton theatrical version, but there's not that humor that's in it that's in the original.
I love I love a lot of the stuff that happened in the. I've never watched the Tim Burton version, but there are very specific moments that I just remember not word for word, but like scene for scene what happened.
Yeah.
And I loved the slow, methodical setup for him winning the
contest?
Yeah, shaving contest. Yeah. I love that. I love that so much. And I don't think that would ever be able to be recreated unless it was on stage.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Burton version is good. I actually really like Helena Bonham Carter as Mrs. Lovett. I think she fits really well. And Johnny Depp as Sweeny Todd. Perfect. It's perfect casting, honestly, because Johnny Depp Sweeny Todd really captures like the absolute dour, angry, depressed man that he is. And Helena Bonham Carter, even though the humor doesn't really carry over, she still has that like, well, it's okay, we'll just turn to cannibalism, we'll get less money, and we'll be fine. You know? She's like the more lighthearted part. Like, they're partners in crime, but she's the one that keeps like the humor going.
Yeah.
And bounces off of him, where he's so dour and angry and depressed that it becomes humorous with how deadpan he is.
Yeah.
You know? If the musical hadn't ended so tragically, it would have been hilarious to see those two go on like Abbott and Costello hijinks.
Yeah, no, that would be. I love the fuck out of that freaking original so much. I don't remember what song it was. There's a couple songs in there that I love the fuck out of, and I know if I heard them, I'd be like, "That's my favorite song."
Yeah.
I love.
Do you remember when it happens? I probably know the name.
I don't. I honestly don't. I remember the like intro song with them getting off of the ship.
Oh yeah.
I remember that.
No place like London.
Yeah.
I like the transition that happens after the song, where it's like, in the Burton version, it's like camera flying through London all the way to Mrs. Lovett's pie shop, and then in the theater musical version, it's scene transition.
Yeah.
Which is also good. But my favorite part is like the like that part that happens in that transition is like my favorite part. And what's really depressing is when some musicals that do Sweeny Todd don't do that part. I'm always waiting for that part. I'm like, here it comes, and then they don't do it, and I'm like, oh, that sucks.
Is there any other like musical horror? Okay, well, fuck Sweeny Todd.
If there's any, are we recording again?
Yeah.
If there's any other musical horrors, Repo the Genetic Opera is definitely one of them.
I forgot about Repo the Genetic Opera. My husband is in it.
Grave Robber?
Yes.
Yeah, he's gorgeous. I love him. And I love that movie.
I think he needs to calm down because he is my wife.
Yeah, he's like way too hot.
There's no reason
like,
for it. There's no fucking reason for it at all.
Yeah, he's not a monster, but I would consider putting him on my monster list.
Yeah, he is your monster fucker list.
Yeah, because I feel like he classifies. But like he's not
I think he counts. I think he would count.
He's not a monster, but he classifies in my eyes.
Yeah.
I love him, and I love that movie. It's really not a long movie either. I could watch that over and over again.
No, it's really not that long. It's really fucking good. Like I think it's well paced. It's well.
Yeah, they get straight to the
everything.
point, and all of the songs are like really catchy.
Like,
and they have no right to be.
I want to rewatch it again.
Yeah, we should really rewatch it for this.
Oh, dude, yes. I want to. That would be really good for this podcast. I fucking love that movie so much.
Well, then we should save the discussion about it for that.
Sure, yeah.
But just so you know, it's like one of my favorite like dark musicals.
It's so fucking good.
That and Devil's Carnival. Same people who made that, by the way.
Devil's Carnival? I don't think I've ever watched that.
There are 2 Devil's Carnivals movies, and they're by the same people who made Repo the Genetic Opera.
Oh, okay.
And your husband
yeah.
plays the devil in that movie.
Ooh, Giles?
Not Giles.
I know.
But Giles is in Repo the Genetic Opera, so it all works out.
He's also my husband.
Yeah, he's hot in that movie too. And he has no right to be.
No, not at all. I need him to stop. He needs to be the good dad that is Giles.
Yeah.
And not a hot man.
Yeah. Well, wasn't he a hot man too in Buffy? He had his moments. You remember?
He had his moments. He did have moments.
Where his hotness came out and you're like, what the fuck?
You're like, whoa, dude, no, whoa.
You're like, dude, calm down. Calm down, I'm not ready. Like, you expect that from Spike, but you don't expect that from Giles.
From Giles. Yeah.
And then he just comes out and you're like, hey, what? Not ready.
Is there any others?
There's plenty of dark musicals that I like. But I'm also not a musical person, so...
I like musicals. I don't search for them. And the only musicals I've watched are really good.
Yeah.
And I think it's just a thing of me going, I will not watch it at all unless there's a million people recommending it to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, the only musical that I watched live was at our high school, which we got an award for Fiddler on the Roof.
Yeah.
We got an award for the musical that I watched.
Yeah.
So obviously that was a good one.
Yeah. I didn't see that one when it was going on, but I remember Fiddler on the Roof.
Mm-hmm.
So that one, the one that I remember the most because I was a part of that production was Beauty and the Beast.
Oh yeah.
I worked on that one as crew, so that
cool.
was great. That was my first one as crew, was like the main musical. Very nerve-wracking. I didn't know what to do, but I did it. I did whatever they told me to do, even though I didn't know what I was supposed to do.
Good. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, I worked on theater for a while there. Then, as I got older, I stopped working in theater.
I really wanted to get into theater, and I think I just never did. It was just one of those things that I was like, oh, I have to put in effort to do it. That's the whole reason why I'm not doing anything else.
Right. It's crazy to me, though, too, that it's been, like 4 years now since I've been in high school.
Yeah, it's been 5 for me this year.
That's weird. I don't like that.
I don't like it at all.
I feel like I haven't done anything.
I'm really excited to not get an invitation for whatever reunion we do.
Yeah.
Because I don't talk to people.
Yeah, you didn't. I don't know how familiar you were with your own class.
No.
Right,
Yeah,
you were more familiar with my class.
Towards the end,
Yeah.
I was more, yeah.
Then, like, it's been 4 years. That's so weird. I don't like it. Slow down.
That'd be funny if I got invited to your reunion.
You're right. That would make sense, though, too.
It would make sense.
They'd be like,
You know
Connor.
who's not going to get invited to your reunion? Jeppy.
Oh, why? What'd he do?
Just Jeppy in general. Nobody not nobody.
Well,
But there's a lot of people that didn't like him just because he was the class clown that was loud instead of.
Well, not just that, but he was also like confrontational with some of the horrible things he said.
I love him. I love him so much. He's really leveled out.
Oh yeah,
since high
he's
school.
gotten a lot better. I appreciate that. I never hated him in high school. That's why I hung out with him in high school.
I hated him.
Oh yeah, you hated him?
Yeah, that's why I love him. That's why I love him now. And it's a love-hate.
That explains a lot.
Okay, so I'm thinking.
You want to complain about Terrifier?
Oh my god, time to complain. This is the movie that I put on there just so I could get mad at
I
a horror.
haven't seen it.
So Terrifier was literally created just so they can put as many gory, stupid shit as they could
Sounds
onto
like
a
my
screen.
kind of movie.
It's a worthless piece of shit. I bet you. You know what? I bet you would put it as a this is gonna go on my monster fucker list.
No, I'm not attracted to clowns.
He is not even ugly. He's just a clown that looks fucking gross and scary, just to look gross and scary, and then the situations that happen, I don't even remember how they do. They just happen because, fuck it, they happen.
It's okay.
And fucking, he goes out of his way for all of the people that happen to go into like this warehouse or whatever that he's living in, to like completely fucking obliterate their humanity in the most disgusting way ever. Like, he has some woman with a child just trapped in there just for fun.
Yeah.
That for like months at a time, and then also like the main character's best friend or whatever gets murdered in front of her, not by anything normal, but because he tied her in like an X upside down and then pulled out a chainsaw and cut her in half naked.
Okay, this doesn't seem as bad as you're saying it. You made it.
There's no reason for it. Like, it's so obscenely stupid though. And then like the main character dies.
Okay.
And then it just goes on to another group of people that he goes and terrorizes. Zizors. It's not good. It's not that it's like obscenely horrible. It's just nothing about it is good.
Sounds like my kind of movie. I would totally watch it.
I hate
I
this
want to
so
watch
much.
it. No, even more.
You're a piece of shit. Why are you shit posting now? Shut up.
What are you talking about? Gory, schlocky movie? Sounds like it's a winner.
I don't like you right now. Why are you saying these things to me? You getting tired?
No, I just need more coffee.
Try it.
I don't like those.
Try it. G Fuel.
No.
G Fuel. Sponsor
I
us, G Fuel.
don't like flavored water. It's not good. It's not good water.
Want to go get coffee?
Maybe. I also got the hiccups. What the heck?
I'm gonna pause the podcast and we'll come back.
Bye.
You fucking asshole. I'm gonna cut it so it's literally just like, okay, bye, and then it's just you're a fucking idiot.
Shut up.
For anybody that wants to know, she just started playing Gary Come Home, but the punk version of it.
You know what you hate the most about it is that you liked it.
I don't wanna.
You like
I
how
don't want to admit that at all.
You like that it's good.
I don't want to admit that at all. Okay. I guess we took a good break, and I think we might start doing that a lot more. We'll add breaks in between this, and then just start adding stupid shit in the middle of it because I think that was a good thing. I think that helps us like get back into the spirit of it too.
Yeah. No, it was good. We left and we got coffee, and that was good.
And then now our only question is why the fuck does Granny look like that?
I was asking you. I thought you knew.
No, why the fuck would I know that?
I never played Granny.
I don't know. Why the fuck Granny looked like that?
I don't know why she even kidnapped us in the first place. Did she? What did we do? Is there something like? Is there a purpose here?
Why does she got a baseball bat?
Well, don't most people have a baseball bat? Just laying around. I don't think that's the weird part.
I don't.
You yeah, but like a lot of people do. Like that's a pretty common thing. They just have a baseball bat.
But it's like all bloody.
Yeah, with your blood.
With a floaty bear.
Okay, we're getting off topic. We need to talk about something else.
I don't know. I think we're okay. Since we're talking about Granny, we were watching our boy Critical.
Yeah.
You know what Critical looks like?
You gonna say Jesus like everyone else?
Keano Reeves from Constantine.
That doesn't work because his dogs are afraid of Keanu Reeves.
They're terrified of Keanu Reeves.
So it can't be. If that were the case, then his dogs would be scared.
I just want to talk about Constantine. Can we just shut up about his fucking dog?
Yeah, okay, yeah. Go ahead.
Have you watched Constantine?
No.
Really?
No. I heard it's about vampires, though.
Well, yeah. It's about vampires. It's about Constantine, obviously, in DC.
Yeah.
I fucking love him so much. Keanu Reeves is a god.
Yeah.
In everything that he's in. But Constantine was actually really, really good, and I think is really underrated for how obscenely weird and good it is at the same time. I haven't watched it in a long time, but if I rewatch it, I would fucking love it just as much as I did the first time. There's so much weird shit that happens, and so many cool things happen with his like abilities and shit, and like the bat swarm thing that you told me about, like with vampires and stuff.
Yeah.
Happens in that too.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of things in it that I think you would really like. It has hot vampires. Well, you would consider hot vampires.
Well, here's the thing. That's a pretty broad statement because I think all vampires are hot by default. So, that could mean anything. You've seen my taste in men. You know where my standards lie.
You don't have any?
I have standards, but they have to be specifically monsters. I can't just date an ugly man. He has to be an ugly man that's a vampire. Then he's hot automatically. Obviously.
I don't like you anymore. I don't want to have this conversation anymore. This conversation has ruined everything.
from subspecies. Oh, he's my man.
God, I hate you so much.
If he could just calm down on the whole murdering my friends thing, that would work out between us. Just, he could stop doing that. If he could stop, he could chill out on that.
Okay, well, let's talk about something that's like not normal monsters, not normal vampires, not normal, and let's talk about Little Shop of Horrors.
Yes, the original one.
The
from
original
the
one,
50s.
because I have not seen the newer one.
Yeah,
but you
well,
showed
newer
me
one from the 80s.
But you showed me the older one, and I really like that. And I think the voice of the fucking of that plant makes me laugh harder than anything else in that movie.
That movie is like peak dry comedy.
Mm-hmm. It actually holds up really well.
Yeah, the humor holds up, I think, really well. It's definitely a cheaply made movie, but it is a Roger Corman movie, so that makes sense. He was always about making fun movies on a low budget.
Yeah.
And then, you know, that movie ended up leading to the Little Shop of Horrors musical, which is really good, and we'll have to watch that at some point. I think you'll be pretty amazed by the special effects of that movie.
Oh,
Because
yeah?
it's like top-notch special effects that are difficult to do now.
Okay.
You could probably pull it off with CGI, but there's no CGI in that movie. That's how, like, top-notch they went with the plant monster.
Okay. Okay.
But the original is not a musical, and it's in
No.
black and white. We watched a colorized version, but it was like...
Yeah. Colorized version, and they fixed the audio to
Yeah.
make it sound a lot better, because the original version that we found first, and then she had to take a few days to try to find the better one.
Yeah.
It was like listening through somebody talk through a tin can in a tin can.
Yeah, it was really bad. The audio was really bad in the original black and white one. And I ended up finding one with better audio, but it was a colorized version, but it was like... It wasn't like it was a
muted tone.
yeah,
colorized.
like they added, it was a weird thing. I don't know how to describe how they colorized it, because it wasn't like, oh, this is the theatrical version, right? It was definitely more like added on in post. Colorized. The dry humor in that is like really good. I really like dry humor.
Yeah.
We don't get that a lot over here in the US, because people seem to think that we can't laugh at anything that's not obnoxiously loud.
Yeah.
Which isn't true.
Nobody understands sarcasm.
Yeah, it's not.
US.
But it's not true. This is just what the big studios think that we want.
Yeah.
But I think dry humor could do really well over here. But they just don't. Big studios and execs in the US don't trust our intelligence at all. And it's really annoying, because I like dry humor a lot, and I'd like to see more movies and shows that really like use that avenue of humor.
Yeah, yeah.
And this movie definitely has that. Like, there's these really subtle moments that just like catch me off guard, because I didn't expect. Stop scratching your tattoo.
Stop bullying me.
There's these moments that really catch me off guard, and are like genuinely really funny.
Yeah.
The best way I can describe it is, like, you know how old movies that were comedies, like, you can understand why they were comedies at the time, but they're not really funny that now.
Yeah,
not even for like being offensive, but you're just like, it's not that funny.
Yeah, yeah.
This one still holds up, I think.
Mm-hmm. It holds up really well.
Yeah, that dinner scene.
Yeah.
with the first date, and they like all miss their clink.
Yeah.
Like they try to clink their glasses together, and they all miss. All three of them miss.
Yeah.
Or when he invites her in, and she's like, and he's like, "Can I take your jacket?" And she's like, "Oh, sure." And he grabs it, and he throws it.
Throws it across the room.
Yeah. It's so good.
Oh, what was one of my favorite moments in it is like after he like gets turned. It's like he gets turned or something by the plant. I don't remember what it was.
No, it's not that he gets turned. It's just he's so easily manipulated.
Yeah, yeah.
That he'll just do anything that anyone tells him, even if he's like, I can't do it, because he's a wimp.
Well, there's a part where it was like there was a girl that was trying to have sex with him. It was like obviously like prostitute type woman.
Oh yeah,
And
he
then-
got hypnotized by the plant.
Yeah.
And had to go in because the plant
And
wanted him to get more food for him.
he was just it was so fucking dumb that even hypnotized, he didn't even think about bringing her back originally.
No, yeah, like she got knocked out, and he didn't even think about like, oh yeah, the plant wants human flesh. He doesn't even like, cause he was that dumb.
Oh my god.
I loved the boss. He
Yeah.
was great. He was a great addition in the movie. He was like definitely like the straight man of the group.
Yeah.
Because everyone else was kind of like quirky and wacky, and he was just like a stressed out businessman trying to make ends meet. I really like that dinner scene that he has with what's her face, the girlfriend.
Yeah.
And he left his wallet back at the shop, and he gets in a full on argument with the waitress.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh yeah, where's your money?" And he's like, "I got the money. It's just not here." And she's like, yeah, I heard that excuse before. And he's like, all right, fine. I'll get you your money, and if I don't come back, you can take her. And it's like, what, you gonna sacrifice your employee for this money issue? And then he finds, like, Seymour feeding dead bodies to a plant. And he doesn't even say anything. He just walks out slowly.
And then he walks back to the restaurant, and then
without
just,
the money.
Without any money, without anything. It just like is having an existential crisis at the dinner table.
The waitress comes back, and he's just like, "Leave me alone." And it's just like, oh, he's great. He's like my favorite character in that movie.
Mm-hmm. I also thought that the like chase scene was hilarious because it didn't need to exist.
No, because they end up back at the shop anyways.
I thought
that whole chase scene was very Scooby-Doo-esque.
Yeah.
You remember that? So Seymour's getting chased by the police, and the police are getting chased by the boss, right? And Seymour runs down the stairs. Police go after, boss goes after. And then, like, same shot, Seymour runs back, and the police go, and it's, like, full-on Scooby-Doo, physics.
Yeah,
the way
it's really stupid.
Like, pre-Scooby-Doo, because I think this movie came out before Scooby-Doo came around.
It's so unbelievably dumb, the things that happen in that movie. Well, I guess we could keep going with the funny horror movies. Have you seen Mars Attacks?
Yes, I have seen Mars Attacks.
I love Mars Attacks.
That's a good one. Very underrated. I don't think a lot of people talk about it today.
Tim Burton movie.
Yeah, that's true. Before Tim Burton's fall from grace. A little bit before. Yeah.
I love that movie so much. I haven't seen that since I was a kid either.
Yeah.
And that was like one of the first movies I watched as a kid, and I remember vividly my dad like laughing at a ton of jokes I did not understand.
Oh
at the
yeah,
time.
Definitely.
A million of them.
Yeah, this must have been right before like he got like really dreary.
Yeah.
You noticed that shift in Tim Burton where he went from like fun, creepy to like dreary, boring, sad. It must have been like right after Sleepy Hollow, I think.
I think it was after. Was Sleepy Hollow before or after Fight Club?
Did Tim Burton do Fight Club?
Yeah, he did Fight Club.
Did he?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound correct.
He did. That's why she's in it. His wife? His wife, not wife?
Helena Bonham Carter?
Yeah. I will never remember her name.
Let's see. No, he didn't do Fight Club.
Is he just a producer? Am I an idiot?
No, he's not even a producer on it, dude.
What,
Fight Club's directed by David Fincher.
I don't know what the fuck that is. Why did I think that then?
I don't know. Fight Club doesn't sound at all like a Tim Burton movie.
No, it doesn't at all, but I thought for sure I had heard that that's what it was.
No. It must have been right around Sleepy Hollow when Tim Burton started to go straight up dreary. Because Sleepy Hollow is a good movie. I like that movie a lot. And it's still fun. It's still a fun movie, but you start to notice that that color palette of Sleepy Hollow, that's the one he continues to use for the rest of his career.
Yeah.
That, like, black and white, just, like, and then cloudy Victorian that's what he sticks with for, like, all of his movies after that point. Including Alice in Wonderland. Like, what? Alice in Wonderland. You know, the one where everything's weird and wacky and kooky and crazy and colorful.
Mm-hmm.
Even he manages to make that into dreary, sad war movie.
I like that movie.
I do not.
I
like the sequel more, but I like the sequel more because it's colorful.
I haven't seen the sequel of it, but I really liked the first one because I don't know, I felt like it was a good recreation of the world. I don't think he did bad in changing it into a more dreary world.
See, and I would disagree. I think he made everything kind of... It's not even that he tried to take a darker route with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I wouldn't have an issue with that. There have been darker versions of Alice in Wonderland before.
Yeah.
Alice Madness Returns. Like, I like that one. That's totally, like, dark, black and white, scary, moody, right?
Yeah.
But it's just, like, he drained the colors, right, of Alice in Wonderland. But then didn't keep, like, the weirdness.
Yeah.
He didn't keep the weird... Everyone, like, in Wonderland, or Underland, as they like to call it.
Yeah.
Which is stupid. They just, like, talk like normal people.
Yeah, they do. All of them talk like normal people, as if nothing weird is going... Yeah.
Yeah, and it's, like, a war movie,
yeah,
too,
and
it's like, why would Wonderland have a war? That doesn't make any sense.
Well,
None of them are politically, like...
Well, the queen was just evil.
The queen was like, evil, yeah. In the book and everything. Wonderland was a dangerous place. I'm not disregarding that, because I read the books, and it's like, you know, it's a weird place to be in. Stop itching your tattoo. I saw you.
It was above the tattoo.
I saw you. Look it.
It's above the tattoo.
It's just like the evil queen's evil, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or the red queen's evil. But, like, why would she ever care about doing a war, right? She already has everything she wants.
Mm-hmm.
And she can execute anyone she wants.
Yeah, basically.
So why would she do a war? And then, like, why would Wonderland, like, be active in this war and it'd be a whole thing? And why would they need Alice to save them from the war? It's just like he didn't have the talent to commit to the weirdness of Wonderland, so he just made everything normal. It was Normalland. But, like, also, like, dreary and Victorian London. It's just, like, that's why I like the second one better, even though it's, like, still not really a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's colorful. And the characters are having fun and they act weird.
I really want to watch the second one because...
Tim Burton didn't do the second one. So.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. That's why it's colorful.
Yeah, no, I really want to watch it because I think it looked really, really nice. I really liked the first one, and I thought the second one looked just as good.
Yeah.
But I know that I actually heard that the other people that liked the first one, like I did, didn't like the second one. Yeah. But I don't think that makes sense because I heard a lot of people said that it was a lot closer to the original.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the second one is more willing to have fun, I think.
Yeah.
Like, whether or not you think it's a good or bad movie, I don't really care, because I'm not a critic. I just know what I like and don't like. But the second one definitely, it wasn't like totally crazy, wacky weirdness.
Yeah.
Like Alice in Wonderland, but it was colorful. The characters acted strange again. Johnny Depp's Mad Hatter, he acted like a weirdo, which is good. We wanted that. And he didn't act like a weirdo, like a wartime man.
Yeah,
he acted like a weirdo, you know?
Yeah.
There was still, like, Alice had to solve this problem and sort of save the day, but it was on a less intense scale than, like, she had to save Wonderland from war.
Yeah.
It was more like, oh, the father of time fucked up some stuff. And so Alice is like, stop fucking up stuff. I'm gonna fix your problem for you and you owe me. And that's like what happened. If only because the Mad Hatter was the only one affected. And it makes sense because he's kind of the one that she became friends with. So it was basically like she was doing this favor so she could help her friend. Stop itching your tattoo.
It's not itching.
Yes,
it's
it
literally
is.
my fucking... I'm gonna punch you. So I'll use that as a segue then. ZombieLand.
Grew up with that movie.
I love that movie so much. Every time I watch it, I think of Ned's Declassified.
Why?
Because of the whole, like, rules and stuff. It's, like, it reminds me... It reminds me of the... tip number 572. Don't... Whatever.
Don't put a pen cap in your locker.
Yeah, don't put it...
I made the mistake of doing that, and that's how I got my phone stolen.
Good job.
Yeah. I was getting tired of doing the thingy,
The combination.
the combination. I was really tired, and I was like, oh, well, pen cap, I just can open it. But then I realized anyone can open it.
Yeah.
And then they just took my stuff.
Yeah.
And then my mom yelled at me. She's like, why did you think that was a good idea? And I'm like, I was lazy. I didn't want the combination. Twirly twirl. You know, I didn't want to. But then I got my phone stolen, and that wasn't good.
I was talking about phone stealing. I was in summer school one year with Kat, and I had left my phone on my desk or something like that, and we went to go get food and came back, and my phone was gone. And I told the teacher, thinking that it would just be like, hey, it was stolen from me, hopefully we can find it or something. And it became, I guess there was this, I think OG somebody like that was there. And so it became like he was searching everybody for my phone. And one of the kids was just like, you're not searching through my backpack. And I was like, that kid has drugs in his backpack.
Yeah.
And then he somehow snuck away, put his backpack somewhere, and came back. I was just like, yeah.
But he didn't have your phone.
He didn't.
Yeah.
But also at the end of the day, I was talking to Kat and a couple other people, and they, and we were all hanging out outside, and then I walk up to my car, and my phone is on my hood of my car.
You left it there.
No.
You had to.
No. I never got close to the hood of my car. I never went there to get food. The food was in the cafeteria. I was not outside. I had it in the classroom and then left it there, went to get food in the cafeteria.
The kid with drugs had it, and he realized he was about to get caught, so he put it back.
Maybe.
That's what happened.
I just thought it was really funny. The like, my phone just appears and drug kid. That summer also, I had a bunch of different stories from that summer. Kat and I another time went out and got Little Caesars, and we came back and we ate we both ate a pizza to ourselves. Like
a full pizza?
Yeah, a full pizza. He ate a full pizza and I ate a full pizza to myself. And when we were done, he had his box open and he finished his last piece and was putting it away. And one of the kids comes up to him and goes, "Aren't you gonna eat that?" And there's just a gigantic piece of like cheese, like the cheese that's stuck to the cardboard.
Ew.
And he's like, and Kat goes, "No."
Yeah, why would you? Gross.
And he goes, "You know there's starving kids in Africa, and you're just gonna leave that there?" And he goes, "Then give it to them."
Yeah. Lord, what? Ew. I don't think I don't eat the cheese off the cardboard. I don't like that.
No, it was gross. I think the kid just wanted to be an asshole, and then Kat was just like, "Yeah, no, I'm just gonna."
Yeah, that doesn't work on Kat.
Quick say stupid shit. Kat does not care.
Yeah, no, it doesn't work on him. I don't think I've ever seen him angry.
I've seen him angry.
You've seen him angry? What is
Yep,
it like?
At his brother.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
It's funny.
It sounds
extremely
scary.
funny because he goes from being the good kid and everything to, "I will fucking find any weapon near me and stab you to death." And he's not like that. He's like, the only time he'll ever actually visibly show that he's angry is when he's at the point that he's gonna kill someone. And it's really funny.
Yeah, and it's only around his brother, which makes sense.
Basically, yeah.
If you've met Austin, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. 100%. I don't know. What do you want to talk about?
Do you want to talk about one more thing and then wrap that up?
Sure. The last thing that I really wanted to talk about was the Goosebumps stuff.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Like, we both grew up on Goosebumps, probably, with the books and stuff. Or at least
yeah,
I did.
I grew up with the books and the show.
I always read the Choose Your Own Adventure books.
Oh, yeah?
And I had a lot of fun with those. And the one that I remember the most is the haunted house type one.
I never read any of those.
Mm-hmm. I actually did pretty good on those. I almost always got the good ending. But then I would like go back and read the shitty endings. And they were always like, you die in a really stupid way.
Yeah, yeah.
Every time.
Well, that's how it goes. I mean, that's the case with like RPGs too.
The first book I ever read, or I guess I didn't read. The first one I ever went through was the Shrunken Head one.
Oh yeah.
My dad read it to me when I was really young.
Yeah.
He read it to me.
Yeah.
And we actually had with that book, it came with like a mini Shrunken Head like thing or whatever.
Yeah,
like it was
that's
like a
kinda
collector's edition thing, and I don't know where that Shrunken Head thing is.
That could be a lot of money. If you find that.
I will never find it.
No, you
But
will
I
never.
thought it was so cool, and I had like hung it up in my room and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea where the fuck it went.
Oh no, that's too bad.
It's really sad.
Yeah. Unsurprisingly, my favorite Goosebumps of the books, right, were Haunted Mask, right?
Oh yeah.
Unsurprisingly, the vampire one.
Oh wow,
That
really?
was my
Wow,
favorite as a
crazy.
kid. Which was disappointing because if I remember correctly, the vampire doesn't show up until the end.
No.
Very
it doesn't.
disappointing. He like barely is in it. Very sad for me as a kid. I remember being disappointed because he's got like 10 minutes of like reading time, and I'm like, he's the reason I picked up the book. I saw the cover. Horrorland was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Like the books.
Uh-huh.
I read those. I like the idea of being in an amusement park that you can't leave.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just like, no, you're gonna have fun. And possibly die, probably. But you're gonna stay here until either happen. You know? I like that one. I like the idea of the horrors, you know, being like the employees.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, your costume's really believable. And he's like, what costume?
Yeah.
And then there was like a reality show that went on. I don't remember. I think that was from the show.
Yeah.
From the show, they didn't really have the budget to do an amusement park.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think. So they just like did a game show, which was like ultimately a lot less entertaining than what the book described.
All I remember from the show is loving very specific episodes, like the pumpkin one, which is like they were being chased by people with other kids with pumpkin heads.
Yeah.
And then the mask, which was, you said that was the first episode.
Yeah, that's the first Goosebumps episode, and it's the one I think that holds up the best.
Mm-hmm. Most of the Goosebumps episodes, all I can think about is me reacting exactly the same as John Tron. Just being like, what the fuck?
Yeah, there is a good one where it's the girl who cried monster, I think, where that one's a genuinely creepy one too, where the main girl figures out that her librarian or whatever is like a monster, and he eats bugs. So after hours, she sneaks in the library and she catches him like eating live bugs, and she's like, he has to be like some kind of monster.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Because he had he had like demon eyes.
Yeah, I remember reading that.
And like a tongue or something.
Yeah.
And then it turned out like she tried to tell her parents, and her parents like, no, right? And then the librarian starts to catch on that she's onto him, right? And he starts stalking her. And then her parents are like, oh, well, let's invite him for dinner, even though their daughter is like, this man is scaring me. Which, like, now that I'm older, her parents probably should have been more concerned about her being scared of this grown man that was apparently stalking her.
Yeah, no, 100%.
But her parents are like, you're just overreacting.
Oh, you kids and your stalker syndrome.
But then they invite him over, and it turns out that they're vampires, and they were gonna eat him. That was the twist ending. I'm sorry I spoiled it.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, they invited him over, and it turns out that her parents were vampires.
And the girl wasn't?
No, the girl was, but her fangs weren't in yet.
Oh.
And they're like, don't worry, your fangs will be in soon. And then they eat him.
That's funny.
Like, that was the twist ending.
It's a good ending.
And they're like, oh, we're inviting you over for dinner. Your dinner. And that was the twist ending. I guess, you know, but like, come on. She's clearly concerned. Her parents should have at least told her that they had a plan.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they knew how to handle it, instead of just being like, don't worry about it. Like, maybe they should have told her that everything would be fine.
No, you wouldn't want that.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't want communicative parents. That's ridiculous.
No, not at all.
Speaking of Horrorland, though.
Yeah, the game.
Yeah, I grew up with the game, and I still play it to this day. It's mostly like a game of, like, mini games, though.
Mm-hmm.
But I like the different, like, areas that you go to.
Yeah.
Especially Vampire Village. That one's my favorite.
Oh my god.
But I also like, it's not till a lot later where you start getting chased around by, like, the horrors, because they start to catch on that you're about to find the pieces of your ticket and then leave Horrorland. That one gets more intense. I also like how the games get progressively harder in each section of the park that you go to. So, you know, you got, like, Carnival of Terrors, I think, is the first section of the park that you're allowed. And it's, like, the kiddie area.
Yeah.
And then you go to Vampire Village, which is, like, the main area, and is, like, the main area where you can access all other parts of the park. Vampire Village was my favorite. Because, obviously. But, like, there was also, like, Mummy's Tomb, which I think was the last one. That's the boss area. No one else. Like, when you get into that part of the game, there's no one else in there because you're the only one who's made it in. Yeah, like, you're a special edgy kid. You finally gained access. But you're also the only one in there. And, it's kind of lonely. It's pretty atmospheric, though. Like, when you get into it, because you're the only kid running around. All other sections of the park, there's other kids running around until you get to the pyramid section. And it's just you. And they're on to you, too. Like, they know that you're, like, about to get the piece of the ticket, and they want to kill you at that point. I finished the game relatively recently.
Yeah.
Because it is a mini game game. Like, it's mostly you go through, you beat these mini games and you get points, and then you reach cutscenes where you get your pieces of the ticket. But there is a twist ending in the game if you've played it.
Okay.
So there's this little girl that you run into, right?
Yeah.
Who's being chased by horrors, right? So you save her from a roller coaster in Vampire Village, and she asks you for your help. You need to find all the pieces of your ticket, and she'll help you get out too.
Yeah.
When you find all the pieces of your ticket and you get out of the ride, you and her escape, right? And the main horror of Horrorland, like the guy, the ringleader, the boss, he's like, "Do you realize what you've just done?" And the little girl transforms into, like, an evil like dragon monster, and she's like, "Thanks," and she flies away. But you're out of Horrorland, so not your problem anymore. Worked out.
Well,
I don't see the downside.
I don't see any downsides. Now we know that dragons are in this world too.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, it worked out. It all worked out. I got out of Horrorland, and I can go home now. I may have released an evil, man-eating monster, but she's probably not gonna eat me, so it's good. It worked out. She probably won't eat me because she's grateful that I helped her get out. So I think I'm good. There's problem solved.
Problem solved.
But they were chasing after her because she was the Horrorland's, like, main attraction.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but she, like, broke out and was, like, running around Horrorland, and they were chasing after her when you saw her on the roller coaster and then saved her. But it worked out. Good game. Thinks it, I mean, it is just a mini game.
Yeah.
Game, but, like, my nostalgia outrules your criticisms.
Yeah.
So, I think, objectively, it's a good game.
I remember you showing me quite a bit of that game, and I actually really want to play it myself, but also some of those mini games were just broken.
Yeah. Well, it is a PS2 era game, too.
That's true. That's true.
And they're not unplayable.
No,
like,
no,
I
they're
beat
not.
the game. It's not like it's impossible to finish. But, like, you kind of gotta, if you're going into it, you gotta know what you're going into.
Yeah.
Or else you're gonna be disappointed.
Well, I think that's a good ending.
Oh, yeah? How long have we been going for?
On our timer?
Yeah.
3 hours and 24 minutes.
Before editing.
Before editing.
Yeah.
I'll probably there's
a lot to cut down.
There's quite a bit in this one.
Yeah.
So.
We'll get back to you guys later. We'll probably do Repo, the genetic opera next.
Yes.
Possibly, because both of us love that movie. Like, with all our hearts.
I really want to watch it again. I haven't watched it in a long time.
Any excuse to talk about Repo,
Yeah.
I will take advantage of.
Well, bye.
See ya.